476, David's farewell address. Chapter 28. And David assembled all the princes of Israel, the princes of the tribes, and the commanders of the divisions that ministered to the king, and to the commanders of thousands, and the captains of hundreds, and the stewards of all the substance and herds of the king and of his sons, with the officers and with the mighty men of valor. And they all came to Jerusalem too. Then he said to them, Hear me, my brethren and my people. I had it in my heart to build a house of rest for the ark of the covenant of the Lord, and for a dwelling place for our God. And I have made ready everything for the building of the house. 3. But the Lord said to me, You shall not build a house for my name, because you are a man of war and have shed much blood. 4. However, the Lord God of Israel chose me from all my father's house to be king over Israel forever. He has chosen me out of the house of Judah to be the king, and out of the tribe of Judah, the house of my father, and among the sons of my father, he chose me to be king over Israel. 5. And of all my sons, for the Lord has given me many sons, he has chosen Shalom, my son, to sit upon the throne of the kingdom of the Lord over Israel. 6. And he said to me, Shalom, your son shall build my house and my courts, for I have chosen him to be my son, and I will be a father to him. Moreover, I will establish the throne of his kingdom forever if he continues to keep my commandments and my judgments as at this day. 8. Now therefore, in the sight of all Israel, the people of the Lord, and in the presence of the Lord our God, keep and seek for all his commandments, and you shall possess this land forever, and leave it for an inheritance for your children after you forever, and it shall not be destroyed. Nine. And you, Shalom, and my son, know everything that the Lord our God has commanded us, and serve him with a perfect heart and with a willing mind, for the Lord knows everything that is in the heart, and understands all the imaginations of the thoughts of men. If you seek him, he will be found by you. But if you forsake him, he will cast you off forever. 11. Know now and take heed, for the Lord has chosen you to build a house for the sanctuary of the name of the Lord. Be strong, be valiant, and do it. 11. Then David gave to Shalom and his son the pattern of the porch, and the measurements of the house, and of its treasuries, and of the upper chambers thereof, and of the inner porticos thereof, and of the outer porticos thereof, and of the upper porticos thereof, and of the lower porticos thereof. 12. And the pattern of the treasury, and of the chambers for the service of the house of the Lord, and the chambers of the cooks, and the chambers of the butlers, and the chambers of those who are in charge of the lamps. 13. Also for the divisions of the priests and the Levites, and for all the work of the service of the house of the Lord, for all the vessels of the service in the house of the Lord. 14. He gave of gold by weight, for things of gold he gave for all the vessels of all manner of service. Silver also for the instruments of silver by weight, and for all the instruments of every kind of service. 15. And in the place of the candlestick of gold, and the lamps of gold, and the wicks thereof, and the ornaments thereof, and the vessels thereof, vessels of oil thereof, David recorded everything and gave it to Shalom and his son. (477) David's last prayer. 16. And the tablets of silver, and the tables of gold. The tables of silver and the tables of gold, dishes of silver and dishes of gold. 17. Also large spoons, flesh hooks, and bowls of silver, and the gold of these vessels could not be weighed. 18. And for the altar of incense, refined gold by weight, and gold for the pattern of the chariot and of the cherubim that spread out their wings and covered the ark of the covenant of the Lord. 19. All this, said David, the Lord made me understand in writing by his hand upon me, even all the works of this pattern. 20. Then David said to Shalom and his son, be strong and of good courage, and do it. Fear not, nor be dismayed. For the Lord God is with you. He will not fail you, nor forsake you, until you have finished all the work for the service of the house of the Lord. All this that David the Lord may of the service of the house of the Lord. 21. And behold, the divisions of the priests and of the Levites, I have given them authority over all the service of the house of the Lord, and they are with you, and shall be in charge of all the service, and they will do the work with skill, for the workmanship which is necessary for the services of the house of the Lord. And behold, I have appointed over them authorities and overseers, so that they may seek and render all manner of service which is necessary. Chapter 21. Moreover, David the king said to all the assemblies of Israel, this Shalom my son is still a small boy, and yet the Lord has chosen him out of all my sons, because he is wise and has understanding, and his work which is given to him is not small, but it is great. For such a task has never been given to any man. Now therefore be strong and of good courage, because the work belongs to the Lord our God. 2. Now I have provided for all, with all my might and with all my wealth, everything which is necessary for the house of the Lord my God. The gold for things to be made of gold, the silver for things of silver, the brass for things of brass, the iron for things of iron, the wood for things of wood, the cedars for things of cedar, precious stones and pearls. 3. Moreover, everything which is necessary for the house I have provided of my own sacrifices. I have also provided money for the expenses of the house of the Lord of my own sacrifices. For 1,000,000 talents of gold, of fine gold, 2,000,000 talents of silver, to overlay the walls of the house. 5. The gold for things of gold, and the silver for things of silver, for all manner of work to be made by craftsmen, so that the work may be completed in its month, and that no work should be left undone, but be finished in its due time, according to the expenses thereof. 6. Then the chiefs of the fathers, and the princes of the tribes of Israel, and the commanders of the thousands, and of the hundreds, and overseers of the king's work, gathered together. 7. And gave for the service of the house of the Lord 5,000 gold talents, and fine tin for the pipes, 200,000 talents in silver, and 20,000 talents of Corinthian brass, 70,000 talents, and 100,000 talents of iron. 8. Moreover, they gave silver and gold, offering them willingly to the treasury of the house of the Lord, by the hand of Gershon the treasurer. 9. Then all the people of Israel rejoiced in all these gifts, because David offered them with a perfect heart, willingly before the Lord, and David also rejoiced with great joy. Therefore David sang great praises to the Lord. 10. Wherefore David blessed the Lord before all the assemblies of Israel, and David said, Blessed be thou, O Lord God of Israel, our Father, forever and ever. 11. For thine, O Lord, is the greatness and the power and the glory, and the beauty and the majesty and the honor, for thou art ruler over all that is in heaven and on earth. That is, thine is the kingdom, O Lord, and the wisdom and the might and the knowledge. 478. David's death. 12. Both riches and honor come from thee, and thou rulest over all. And in thy hand is power and might, and in thy hand is to make great and to give strength to all creations which thou hast created. 13. Even now, O Lord God, we thank thee and praise thy glorious name. 14. But who am I, and what is my people, because of my teachers have taught me that thy way of life has helped us, and thou art our hope, O Lord our God. 15. For we are like the proverbs of vapor and of the potter. Vapor appears and disappears, and the potter breaks his vessels and remakes them. Okay. Potter, and we are sojourners before thee, and a small people in the world. But thou didst rule over our fathers of old, and thou didst command them by which way they should walk and live. 16. And to thee we offer praise, O Lord our God, that thou mightest save us from all those who harm us, from nations, for the nations reproach us, saying, where is their God whom you serve? Where is your God whom you serve? 17. I know also, my God, that thou triest the heart, and hast pleasure in uprightness. And as for me, in the uprightness of my heart I have sung all these praises, and now I have seen that my people are present here. Praise thee with great joy, saying, 18. O Lord God of Abraham, Isaac, and of Israel, our fathers kept all these things which thou hast promised us forever. And now turn away our heart from evil, that we may not sin before thee, and prepare our hearts to worship thee. 19. And I, David, answered and said thus, O Lord my God, give to Solomon my son a perfect heart, to keep thy commandments and thy testimonies, and thy statutes, and to do all these things which I have commanded, and to build a temple for which I have made provision. For thy great name will be hallowed, and praise in the world which thou hast created is in the presence of those who worship thee. 20. Then David said to all the people of Israel, now bless the Lord your God. And now all the people blessed the Lord God of our fathers, and bowed down and worshipped the Lord, and they blessed King David. 21. And they offered sacrifices to the Lord and burnt offerings to the Lord. And on the next day they sacrificed 1,000 bullocks and 1,000 rams and 1,000 lambs with their drink offerings, and sacrificed in abundance for all Israel. 22. And they did eat and drink before the Lord on that day with great gladness. And they made Solomon the son of David king, and appointed Zadok to be priest. 23. Then Solomon sat on the throne of the kingdom of the Lord as king instead of David his father, and prospered, and all Israel obeyed him. 24. And all the mighty men of the sons of King David submitted themselves to Solomon his son. 25. And the Lord magnified Solomon exceedingly in the sight of all Israel, and bestowed upon him such royal majesty as had not been seen on any king of Israel who has been before him. Who had been before him. Wow. 22. 26. Therefore David the son of Jesse made Solomon his son king over all Israel. 27. Now the time of David reigned of all Israel was 40 years. He reigned 7 years in Hebron, and 33 years he reigned in Jerusalem, over all Israel and Judah. 28. And David the son of Jesse died in a good old age, full of days, and great in worldly riches and honor, and Solomon his son reigned in his stead. 29. Now the acts of David the king, from first to last, behold, they are written in the book of Samuel the prophet, and in the book of Nathan the prophet, and in the book of Gad the prophet. 479, Solomon becomes king. 30. With all his reign and his might, and the times that passed over him and over Israel and over the kingdoms of the countries, David did that which was good in the presence of the Lord, and he transgressed not against anything that he commanded him all the days of his life.